Bitcoin broke back into the rising wedge pattern where we have seen a breakout from earlier, and if we have a look at the shorter term time frame, we've seen that Bitcoin even broke out the megaphone pattern I've been pointing out earlier. Guys, in today's video I want to answer the question right now if we can switch on fully bullish right here for the near future, or that we still have to take a little bit be a little bit cautious in the price action right here. I want to have a talk about the structures in the momentum indicators, and I also want to have a talk about what I'm expecting with Bitcoin over the coming months going towards the end of this year. So guys, all about that in today's video. With that being said, my name is Jeroen. Welcome to the Blockchain Today, the channel where you subscribe for daily crypto videos, and right now let's jump right into it. So Bitcoin broke down off this rising wedge formation, and yeah, what we are seeing right here is that we also lost the 61.80%, which essentially is a bearish signal. But like I said in my video yesterday, is that the moment we are going to reclaim that level right here, that is the moment that in the shorter term time frame things are starting to look bullish again, because this is just a very key level. We have seen it in previous price action as well. So what we have seen afterwards is quite a big of a reaction in the price of Bitcoin. We saw a rally, and Bitcoin even broke back into this channel, into this pattern, this rising wedge formation, and right now it's trading back into this pattern. Normally it is actually quite a bullish sign, guys, when we are seeing a breakout which actually results in a fake out. If that is a fake out to the downside, it is a very bullish signal due to the fact that buyers are stepping in, and that can cause for a lot of fuel for a next rally. The opposite is true as well. If we were to have a fake out to the upside, then that would be a bearish signal. So this is actually quite bullish, but right now I wouldn't directly open all leverage long positions right here, because I still think we could be seeing some turbulence during the month of September. And also when we have a look at the structure in the price of Bitcoin, then we don't yet have a clear setup for a nice rally, at least not yet. And let's have a quick talk about that. So first of all, when we have a look at the momentum indicators, then we can see that we are still consolidating, which means that we are still not breaking out of a certain pattern on the momentum indicators, which is showing us that basically Bitcoin is still consolidating, and once we're consolidating, there might not be enough fuel to really start a next rally. So there's no confirmation yet right here that we are really going to start a new rally. However, that might come very soon if we were to see a break of this declining resistance in the MACD and in the relative strength index. I think that can be great indicators showing us that Bitcoin might be in for a rally again right here. But yeah, like I pointed out in my previous videos as well, September is around the corner. Normally September is one of the most bearish months for the stock market, but also for the crypto markets. So far, I don't think that much has changed, even though Bitcoin broke back into this channel. I do have to say that we have to assume Bitcoin to continue this short-term uptrend right here, due to the fact that we broke back above the 61.80%. Also due to the fact that we broke above the declining resistance of this potential megaphone pattern. The target of a megaphone pattern, guys, is the top of the pattern. That would be at 50,400. But as you can see right now, if we are zooming in on the price of Bitcoin, we are running into some resistance right now as well, which has been acting as former resistance, also has been acting as former support. So it would make sense from the levels that we are right now, that we are seeing some selling pressure, that we are seeing some struggles for Bitcoin to break these levels. And guys, this is the levels that I'm going to watch this weekend or the coming days. If Bitcoin can manage to break above this horizontal resistance and flip this level into support, that would be very bullish for the immediate short-term time frame. Most likely will show us that we will surpass the previous local high right here at approximately 50,500. However, if we were to get rejected from this level and lose this uptrending support and maybe test the 61.80% again, I think we have to apply extra caution again, because if we lose that level again, we could be in for some further downside, especially, like I said, other markets are aligning actually also in a similar formation. So for example, we have the S&P 500, right, where we also have a similar formation where we are touching the resistance of that certain pattern that we are trading in, which is a rising wedge formation, and while touching that resistance we actually get a bearish divergence. So it doesn't mean that we cannot break this level. It just means that the odds are more in the favor of seeing a rejection rather than seeing a breakout. But we got that bounce, like I've mentioned in yesterday's video, that we were touching that resistance, that most likely we will see a bounce. That bounce was actually quite bullish because we even surpassed the previous highs right here, and right now we are seeing the S&P 500 trading above 4,500 US dollars. So that is actually quite bullish for now for the S&P 500, but I would have a slightly cautious attitude to the markets right here, due to the fact that there are all quite some bearish setups going on. So that can also be bear traps, right? It can also just look like it is a bearish setup. However, that's why I still think it is good to apply extra caution right here. Then guys, I want to have a quick talk about Bitcoin going towards the end of this year, and I want to bring out this chart. This is the Elliott wave chart we often talking about, and I think this scenario is actually still in play. At least it is one of the more likelier scenarios that Bitcoin is going to continue this uptrend right here, continue this bull market. So guys, that would mean that the price of Bitcoin could reach 100,000 US dollars and above by the end of this year. Something similar that we have seen in 2017, where we also went to a market extreme, a euphoric sentiment right here, and eventually we had this blow off top at 20,000 US dollars for a for analytics, for analysis purposes, for fun purposes, we can actually copy the price action right here. We can put that at the Bitcoin price action right now, just to give you an idea of what we could be seeing. And let me put the price action right there. So right now we could be still seeing, I think it's still possible that during the month of September, we still could see a final shakeout, or at least a correction, either in Bitcoin and in the stock markets. That's why I'm saying I would be very cautious right here to open leverage long positions, because I think right here was the moment to stack up those longs, and right now I think it's the moment that we have to be slightly cautious, as Bitcoin is showing signs of exhaustion, going into resistance, and it makes more sense for me, in my personal perspective, that Bitcoin is going to see somewhat of a pullback right here, maybe a final shakeout, and then eventually the months that will follow afterwards, they can be extremely bullish for Bitcoin, but as well for the stock market. So I don't expect Bitcoin to really go to these levels. Like if we really would copy the price action from previous bull market, right, that Bitcoin could test the lows right here, I don't think that is really very likely, but I do think it is still possible for Bitcoin to come back down to test the levels of 44,000 US dollars, 41 or 40,000 US dollars. But I also do think, and that is important to note right here, I also do think that afterwards, once we set that potential higher low in the Bitcoin price, I think Bitcoin most likely is actually looking quite bullish going towards the end of this year, because I think this is one of the more likely scenarios that we are seeing right now, is that Bitcoin enter a fifth wave structure to the upside, which will result in eventually a blow off top event where the market will go towards one extreme, which will be a macro top, so which will be followed by a multi-year long bear market. Also something similar we have seen after 2017 going into 2018 and 2019. I'm not saying it's going to look exactly the similar as right here. Every cycle is looking quite different than the previous cycle, so of course here it will be slightly different as well, but in global speaking of terms, I do think that this is more likely one of these scenarios, at least that I'm trying to prepare myself for, is that we are going to see a bullish Bitcoin in the coming months after September, going to a blow off top by the end of this year, or by the latest the beginning of next year. Then guys, a quick look at Cardano right here in the US dollar comparative. We had a pullback to the previous all-time highs like we have been talking about. Afterwards, we saw a major rally, even surpassing the all-time highs. But right now we are seeing some warning signals in this chart as well. And first of all, I want to bring out the daily time frame. We have a huge divergence right here on the daily time frame. We have a divergence with this top and this top, but also with these two tops, and that might be better visible on the 4-hour time frame. We can see that on the 4-hour time frame we are still getting rejected from the declining resistance, which is basically showing that we have a bearish divergence. And this is something we've also seen now and then with Bitcoin, right, that we try to surpass the previous all-time high like we did right here, but afterwards we are losing it again. Most of the time that is actually a bearish signal, showing us that this is a failed attempt of breakout. However, that would be invalidated, of course, if we can break above that all-time high again and flip this level into support. That would definitely invalidate, but so far losing the previous all-time high after breaking it, I have to interpret that as a bearish signal. So guys, that is basically what I'm watching right now with Bitcoin. Like I say, I still would be very cautious with the price of Bitcoin if you are considering opening leveraged long positions right here. We are running into some resistance. This is as well the resistance zone that I'm going to watch. Right now it makes sense for Bitcoin to get some resistance from this level, right? Now it's going to be important how Bitcoin is going to react at these two levels. Either the support of this rising wedge formation, which would be at 48,630. Approximately right now, that level will be higher in the future, depending on when we potentially test this level. And of course, the next major level is the 61.80%, which is at approximately 47,900, and losing this level would definitely be would definitely strengthening the scenario of a further correction during the month of September. So guys, that are the levels that I'm watching right now. If Bitcoin can break above this support zone and flip this level into support, I expect a short-term rally in the Bitcoin price. It is also important that eventually we are going to invalidate those bearish divergences on the daily time frame and on the 4-hour time frame, so that eventually we are going to break above the declining resistance. If Bitcoin really wants to make a serious, strong rally, we need to see a break of that structure in the momentum indicators. So guys, that was it for today's analysis. I hope you all enjoyed today's video, guys. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to scroll below this video, hit the thumbs up button. That is very much appreciated. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Then I want to wish every single one of you an awesome weekend, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video.